Hello, this is Adrian from my channel Random Drop, and I wanted to take a look at some of the arcane items that you can find throughout the game in Bloodborne. These are the more eccentric items that do very weird things, but they don't really explain themselves a whole lot, and there's no real idea if they're useful or not. I have lots of friends who are playing and they just don't want to spend the arcane points to test out a thing they may or may not like. So first, we're going to take a look at the Old Hunter's Bone. The bone of an old hunter whose name is lost. It is said that he was an apprentice to Old Gehrman and a practitioner of the art of quickening, a technique particular to the first hunters. It is most appropriate that hunters, carriers of the torch who are sustained by the dream, would tease an old art from his remains. Its bullet use is 6, and what it does, it actually gives you a quicker roll, faster of course, and gives a few more invincibility frames and teleports you from side to side instead of sliding or rolling. It actually helps for bosses with a lot of combo strings or anything like that, but it does eat up quite a bit of ammo. I personally really like this item. It is really hard, or not really hard, but you do find yourself wasting a lot of bullets, but there are times where there's enemies that guns are worthless on them. So I like to use these more of a, hey, I probably shouldn't get hit right now, I need to put this buff on and give me a better chance. It's pretty good for NPC hunters. I assume PvP it might be great as well. I'd say it probably gives you about 20 seconds of speeded up rolls, and of course those rolls have better invincibility frames. But as to the exact timing, I really need to do some more testing on that. But that is what the item does. It is pretty much what it says on there. It is a good defensive item, a defensive cooldown item, as you would say. But yeah, the next thing we're going to look at is the tiny Tonitrus. Tonitrus is a unique weapon crafted by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church Workshop. This is a similar Morningstar mace that utilizes quicksilver bullets. When struck into the ground, it creates a blue spark that are said to surround dark beasts. Like Archibald's masterpiece, this too is a superb conductor of the powerful blue sparks. So this weapon itself, it says blue sparks, but they're giant lightning bolts that come from the sky. They're not sparks in any way. And I should have a clip here where it looks like it shoots the first locked on target and then travels in front of it about 3 or 4 times. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it does shoot in a straight line. I did test it. It cannot go through walls, and it cannot go through gaps. So it's not really like someone's on a balcony and you can't really hit them with it. They kind of have to be in a horizontal line in front of you. But it does do quite a bit of damage, but it does eat up 6 bullets. And it's very good to clear out shit tons of enemies that are in a row for sure, but I really do enjoy it. It's one of my new favorite ones, but it takes 25 arcane to even use, and that is quite a investment. You have to invest a lot into arcane instead of investing in other stats like health or strength. But I am running a skill and arcane build, which is very good with the dual blades that I'm using that you get from the Crow Woman's quests. But yeah, I really like this item. It's kind of just a blast with it. It is a very unique item, definitely. Looks like they replaced a lot of the magic from the old games and kind of just put them into this crazy technology. The next item I want to look at is the Auger of Ebrietas, one of the secret rites of the choir. High-ranking members of the Healing Church use spirits, the invertebrates known to be augurs of the Great Ones, to partially summon abandoned Ebrietas. One of the few rites that allows one to directly utilize the power of the Great One, and evidence that the choir had approached the Eldritch truth. This item in itself doesn't seem to be super useful. I do need more testing. Maybe I've recorded more footage where it's actually useful, but I did use it once. It did like 50 damage. It only eats 1 bullet. So I'm not sure if it could actually stagger something or anything like that, but it seems like a little short stun. But again, I need more footage and more testing. I did recently get this one, but it only takes up to 18 arcane. And what it does, it kind of shoots like a tentacle arm, old god arm at the target for 1 bullet only, which is not much at all. And yeah, it's really neat. I need to see if it's actually useful, definitely. I probably should be using it more here. I'm going to do some vial farming runs and just to test this crap out a little bit more. But yeah, really cool item for sure. And alright, that is the 3 items I've picked so far to actually take a look at and test and get some footage for. I really like these arcane items. There's a few I missed, I believe, and I need to go back and look for them really quick. But these are 3 of the more vague ones that I've seen, and you can see what they actually do and see if you actually want to use them yourself. Because, I mean, it is a large risk on your first playthrough, putting stats into a stat that you don't really know if you want to put stats into. But it's really fun. I highly recommend it. Y'all have a good day, alright?